And good evening, everybody, and what a way to kick off our third week of Swiss matches here in the 2018 Summer-Fall Legend of Zelda Randomizer Tournament. We have an exciting 2-0 showdown between Ategenos and ChessJerk. The winner of this match will punch their ticket into the bracket stages of the tournament. Hi everyone, this is LOZ Cards Fan 23, along with my partner Antlers, and boy oh boy, what a showdown we have tonight. Already we are starting the third week with some fireworks.
Absolutely, it's going to be a crazy match to start off round 3, one of the top tier matchups of the round. ChessJerk versus Ategenos, or as he's known throughout the community, Ategenos. So that is, it's going to be a great match of two top tier runners of this game, and we got a lot of them this round actually, Lost.
Yeah, that's right. If you joined Crimson Avix after the last match last night of the second week of Swiss matches, you'll see that we have quite a few intriguing showdowns for you the rest of this week. Some really big one-on-one matchups.
Absolutely. We've got, just in the one-on-ones that you mentioned, we've got Amazing Toaster versus RC Drone. The fact that that's a one-on-one matchup is crazy in and of itself. The fact that it's those two runners, that one of them will be 1 and 2 is just insane. You've also got versus BT in that one-on-one pool as well, and then you've got some really exciting 2-0 matchups as well.
Yeah, this one might come to some people as a surprise, but in my opinion, I don't think it's that big of a surprise. Shaddy versus Tetra Lee, they're both 2-0. One of them is going to be in the bracket stages after their race, which is going to be happening a couple days from now.
That is awesome as well. Shaddy and Tetra Lee, both very good runners in their own right. Also, one that I'm really looking forward to is Redbird Grad versus Jam Evil. That's another highlight matchup for round 3.
Oh, no question about it. You have Redbird Grad, who has consistently put up fast times already in the tournament, and of course Jam Evil, the winner of our second Zelda Randomizer tournament. So yeah, that is going to be an exciting matchup as well. So and then you have Zardia versus Saver, another good one-on-one matchup. We got a lot of interesting matchups coming up this week. This is just the beginning, folks.
It's going to be an exciting round for sure. I'm really excited to get this kicked off and do it right with ChessJerk versus 8gen.
Now I gotta ask, what the heck sprite is 8gen sporting?
Well, I am working through some technical issues still, so I actually can't see the stream yet, but I will be following along in just a moment.
Yep, and of course, for those of you who have not seen any of this tournament, we are dealing with what we call the Pentaforce flags. You only need 5 Triforce pieces in order to go into level 9. In addition, the 5 important items in past tournaments that couldn't be in level 9, that's the bow, the ladder, the recorder, the power bracelet, and the raft, now can find its way into level 9. So frequently so far in this tournament, we've seen runners had to go into 9, cut out of level 9 because they still needed either the bow or the silver arrows, and then dip back into level 9 after they've picked it up. So it wouldn't be surprised to see that happen to either of our runners this evening. Just because you only need 5 Triforce pieces to go into level 9 doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a lightning seed. It could be one of those double dips, triple dips into multiple dungeons throughout this entire race. So looks easy, but trust me, folks, it's not.
Absolutely, and it's a lot of strategy involved. 5 Triforces versus 9, and important items being in 9. You've got to determine whether, I've got Triforce, the Triforces I need, but I could need to get a ladder. I could need silvers. Do I want to go into 9, or do I want to keep digging dungeons? Lots of strategy goes into this.
Yeah, and the race I called last night, Antlers, gambling is a big part of it, and it paid off for BT, who had a 2 in 5 chance of getting the silver arrows out of level 9, but he opted not to go into level 9. Instead, he made the choice to go to level 4 And he picked correctly because the silver arrows happened to be there. And I'm going to tell you something. If he doesn't make that correct gamble, Antlers, he's 0-2 in this tournament.
Absolutely. That's the randomizer for you. That's what it can do. It can be your best friend or your worst enemy, depending on the RNG.
Yep. Speaking of RNG, we're also dealing with enemies shuffled HP anywhere between plus or minus 2 of their vanilla value. So we could see some squishy blue moblins that could give you those bomb drops. But on the other hand, we could be seeing some 10 HP blue dart nuts. No one wants to see that.
Not at all. 10 HP blue dart nuts, 12 HP blue whiz robes. All nasty, nasty stuff to have to deal with.
Well, and we are underway, and look at the start screen, folks. People in chat, you know what to do. And there's even a sword at the start gate, but it's the magical sword, not the wood sword. They're going to need anywhere between 10 and 14 hearts in order to pick that up. So a very intriguing start off the bat for these runners.
Absolutely. Whenever you get a stacked start like that, it's going to cut a lot of time off the seed, a lot of exploration time that you might not have to do otherwise.
Yeah, I'm looking at 8-Gen Sprite. I'm very intrigued by it, but I have no idea what the heck that is supposed to be. ChessJerk, of course, being the traditional Link Sprite, and both these runners simultaneously finding level 8.
Indeed. And I believe I'm through my technical issues here, so I'll be joining you on the stream in just a moment.
Now, considering that the magical sword is at start, if the hearts are plentiful like they were in the race I called last night, we could see a play for magical sword here, but we'll see. There's the small secret for both 8th gen and ChessJerk, and it is 8 rupees, so a little bit below the vanilla amount. So we will see if this potentially could be a poverty seed. Hopefully not for these runners' sake. And there's a door repair penalty for both, so those 8 rupees they just earned, give them right back.
The randomizer giveth, and the randomizer taketh away. That's the name of the game.
Well, we have a nice cheap arrows there in the and behind that Armo statue. 69 for the wooden arrows, an expensive blue candle though at 71. And both of our runners take the up and A. They're going to take a different path in the search for the wood sword and potentially the Armo statue item. Looks like ChessJerk is going to head for the dead woods. 8-Gen is going to head for vanilla level 1. So let's take a look and see if he can find anything useful there. He's just going to breeze right through the models. He's going to find some cash. 33 rupees, not bad at all. The vanilla amount's 30 and the mean is 32.5. So that's right where you want to see the medium secret in this. So right now we're dealing about average money at this point. It's going to come down to that large.
Yeah, the large can make you or break you. The large is definitely the most significant, as it is the most dramatic change in what will be the money situation in the seed.
8-Gen checking the forgotten spot off the bat. Of course, he's got no bombs. He's just doing some screen scroll. He's going to check the Armo statue here near vanilla level 6. First, he's going to check this cave, find some cash, another 33 rupees. That'll double his money to 66. ChessJerk going to check vanilla level 3. Let's see if there's anything of use there. Ategenos checking the Armo statue. That is not where the... Oh, my goodness gracious. I swear, I'm a cursed commentator when it's come to money so far in this tournament. That is about as bad of a large secret as you could possibly get. 55 rupees, poverty seed confirmed, but look at this. 8-Gen finding level 9 behind that Armo statue.
Indeed, and level 9 being over in the grave, maybe a little while before ChessJerk finds that. We'll have to see, but he is kind of wrapping his way over there as he picks up his blue candle out of a take any.
Yep, that's a good pickup there when you have a take any. If you've not seen a candle shop, you're going to go ahead and pick up that blue candle each and every time. That's a smart pickup there by ChessJerk.
Absolutely. It gives you so much more exploration, and you don't know when you're going to get another chance. It could be 1 minute from now, it could be 10 minutes from now, so you don't want to sacrifice that exploration just to get another heart.
All right, we're going to check the, Ategenos is unfortunately going to lose some cash to another door repair penalty. ChessJerk finding a medium up to 89 rupees. And we do want to thank Random Effect for getting this set up at the last possible moment here on Randomania 3. So if we do have any technical hiccups, we do apologize for that. We're going to try and get them straightened out as soon as possible. Some cheap bait there in that blue ring shot and rupees. You never know if any kind of seed's going to be, we'll see if that comes into play.
Absolutely. And the bait shop, it's not usually required, but it's great to have in a pinch if it is one where it actually does make you go through a bait block.
Yeah, we've seen some near misses. There early in the tournament where it looked like bait was going to be required in level 9, and it turned out there actually was a workaround.
Yeah, it's always a relief. You kind of, whenever it looks like there's going to be a bait block and you don't have that bait, and maybe you forgot to mark it on your map, you kind of get that sinking feeling a little bit in the pit of your stomach.
Oh, absolutely. You never want to come to level 9 unprepared, and we've already seen a lot of level 9s be decided by resource management, offense, defense. You want to be as prepared as you possibly can going into level 9.
Indeed, as ChessJerk finds that hint shop that could come into play with the book.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's nothing they can do about that at the moment because that's a new feature here on these flags there. Normally, these players are going to avoid the book like the plague, but not with these flags because every single member of the Hylian race is going to say the exact same phrase, and you need the book in order to understand what they are saying. So you can't purchase those hints until you have that book, but keep in mind, it still gives you that hindrance if you have the wand.
Indeed, it's kind of a give or take situation, but the earlier you find the book and the seed, the better, because not only can you buy hints from the hint shops, but every single dungeon you go to is going to have at least one hint that it gives you for free. So it's a very, very powerful item to find early in the seed. It can tell you dungeons not only that you need to go into, but that you don't need to go into.
Armor statue item 8gen has found it. It's the red candle. So I don't know if he ever found a take any cave, but if he didn't, that's an extra heart container he could possibly pick up there. So nice find there by 8gen.
And that early red candle is a great offensive weapon when you're lacking a sword. It can deal with landmolas, keys, vires, Zulls, etc. really, really well. It groups him up. It takes him down a lot faster than the sword can in many cases.
Yeah, very nice item to find early in a randomizer race like that, especially when you don't have a sword. So what the blue candle does is you can fire the candle once on the screen, but if you want to fire that candle again, you have to go to a different screen. In 8gen's case, he can fire it as many times as he would like, but he's got to keep in mind only 2 shots on the screen at once.
As we're getting a little bit more exploration, we're branching out from the main part of the map a little bit here, and neither of our runners have still found that wood sword, as ChessJerk finds level 5. Looks like he will take a little dip into this dungeon, see if there's a free Triforce or item for him.
We saw the take any roads, and most of them stayed around Eastern Hyrule, so not the greatest of take endings. I've definitely seen worse antlers, but I've definitely seen better.
Yeah, the take-inies are always kind of a mixed bag, but you do have the comfort of knowing that you've got the same take-inies as your opponent, so you just got to route them in as best you can and hope for the best.
And we find behind the money-making game spot, how vanilla, and we find a blue ring spot behind the blue ring spot during second quest. Well, not really quite vanilla, but close enough.
I believe the saying is this even randomized?
Yeah, that's the old phrase. ChessJerk finding another take any cave. He's going to pick up the heart container, putting him at 4 hearts. He now has a 1 in 3 chance of picking up the white sword item. White sword item has been shuffled. Of course, it could be the white sword, but it can be any item in the game, including anywhere between it is required. Ategenos finding level 3.
Level 3 is a good one to take a little peek into when you got a little bit of offense like the red candle. A lot of times it can have an open staircase that you can get into without the use of a sword, and if that's the case, it could give him an early item like the wand or the white sword, which would really give Ategenos a leg up.
Boy, what an enemy set here that Ategenos is dealing with. We're talking, this is where that candle's going to come in handy. Not against the Pole's voices, unfortunately. So he can take out the pancakes, he can take out the Gibdos, but those Pole's voices, he's going to hope that after he clears this room, when he exits, that the Pole's voice isn't the dominant enemy, because if it is, he's blocked.
Absolutely. And the way that works is, if you're not familiar, the enemies in each dungeon have a priority order. And if you leave the room like Ategenos is about to do and go back in, they will spawn in their priority order.
And ChessJerk finding level 9 as well. So let's find out what the dominant enemy is. Is it the Pole's Voice? Nope, Pancakes.
And that is great news for Ategenos. That means he can keep going in this dungeon, only to find a mugger. And he's going to go ahead and give up a bomb capacity. So he's feeling this level 3.
Yeah, he's going to take a chance here. So now the maximum bombs that Ategenos 7. Now here's the good news about finding the mugger room already. In the randomizer, with anywhere between 1 and 3 of those muggers. So that's going to decrease the chances of seeing those in level 9.
Absolutely. The more you see earlier, the fewer later, because there is a finite number of them that will be in the seed.
Yeah, that's correct. ChessJerk had his wallet topped out, but then he found a door repair penalty, and we have now confirmed that 17 penalty.
Not the worst it could be. He definitely better than.
Yeah, especially in a poverty seed like this. Nice kill of the orange Lamolas there by Ategenos there. One bop from them would have been instant death for him, and he gets a 5 rupee for his efforts. Now he's going to take care of these much simpler gels, and if he finds the heart container, that's nice. That'll put him at 4 hearts, giving him also that 1 in 3 chance of picking up the white sword item.
That's a great find early, and you see the power of the red candle there on full display against Lamolas like that. It gives you damage against all their segments, and it also keeps you at a little bit sword does. That prevent you from taking.
Unfortunately, Ategenos will not get paid those 5 rupees because he is ladder blocked from it, but not the worst. He's not ladder blocked out of either the Triforce or the item in level 3. ChessJerk finding those take any roads as well behind vanilla level 2, and he's going to find out they're all going to stick on the east side, so he's going to probably not be too thrilled about that, but he at least knows where they take him.
Absolutely. It looks like he's working his way back toward the middle of the map here as Ategenos finds more pancakes and more pancakes to deal with level 3.
I think we've officially found the IHOP of Hyrule here in this level 3. Of nothing but likes here.
I've got the tall stack in level 3. That's for sure.
If I had enemies to deal with in level 3, there are plenty of worse choices though than likes.
Absolutely, especially with the red candle as ChessJerk finds level 1. And
that's great.
The special thing about level 1, if you're not familiar, if this is your first match watching, is level 1 has 2 items, whereas most dungeons only have 1, and it is the smallest dungeon as well, so it's very, very high bang for your buck.
Looks like Ategenos has found the item in level 3. Hopefully we'll get an indication of what it is and that we don't get power pointed out of discovering what that item is. And it is the bow!
What a find early. That's so huge. Finding the bow, one of the 3 required items every time to beat the game. Bow, silvers, and sword. So now you're really just looking for silvers because you know you're at least going to find the wood sword on the overworld. That cuts what you're looking for in half, essentially, as far as required item.
ChessJerk fighting the Triforce out of level 1, so he's on the Triforce board, but with the 2 items still at large, he's going to try it again and hopefully find both of the items here. But he's only got the blue candle. That's going to make excavating much tougher than it will be for Ategenos as he gets the Triforce out of level 3. And ChessJerk doing the bobbing and weaving to get past these orange Lamolas. He does take a bop. That's going to cost him 2 hearts, but he'll be able to proceed. And look at this, another mugger room. That's the second one already. There was 1 in 3. Now we find 1 in level 1. So that really is going to decrease the chances of finding 1 in 9 now.
Well, we're getting them out of the way early. At least we got the knowledge of where they are, and they're not going to spring up and surprise either of our runners late in the game, which can really cost you late if you're not prepared for it.
And no question about it, here's ChessJerk's going to check the coastal area and took a gamble there by picking up a secret with only 10 rupees left from the maximum, but it is not one of the 3 larges. It's one of the mediums instead, so that'll take him up to 255 rupees maxi. Now, with that 255 rupees, he's going to go ahead and purchase the blue ring. I like this call here. I mean, it's a poverty seed here. You're not going to get another chance to get up to 255 rupees, and for all we know, that red ring could be buried deep into level 9. But as I say, Antlers, whenever you make that big purchase of finding the blue ring, the red ring is sure to follow.
Yeah, that's how it works out a lot of times, and it's unfortunate when it does. But in my opinion, if you're going to make the blue ring play, the earlier the better, because you're still exploring, you're still finding money and door repairs. You get that out of the way, you can start collecting money again, or you find door repairs, and it doesn't take any money away.
Not a problem at all there. So ChessJerk's defense is now doubled by sporting that blue ring. Now we're about to find out the ladder item on the coast. We've got the book, again with the book on the ladder item. So if you want that book, if you want to understand these highlands, you're going to need that ladder. And look at the price of keys there in that shop. Just 65 rupees.
Not a bad key price at all. Unfortunately for ChessJerk, he's going to have a little bit less access to that than Ategenos will, as he has spent a lot of his rupees in this low rupee seed on that blue ring. But we'll see if keys come into play.
Yeah, they tend to have come to play a lot. I know in week 1 they definitely came into play. And here's level 5 found by Ategenos, and he's going to start by exploring the southern region. ChessJerk finding a money-making game, wants no part of playing with those 34 rupees. And we've got some ropes. Another good enemy to deal with the red candle. So far, so good with the swordless strats for Ategenos, and still finding easy enemies with these Keys and Zols. And we have some squishy Zols here. They go down in one hit, so you can get some fast cash out of these Zols with the red candle.
Absolutely. And a free heart container sitting in the staircase room for Ategenos. He's up to 5 now. He's got a 66% chance of picking up that white sword item when he finds it, and ChessJerk finally gets his red candle off the Armos. Unfortunately, while he's been doing that, Ategenos has been digging his way through dungeons further than ChessJerk has been able to. We're seeing the reason that a lot of runners will route in that Armos item so early. It's a free item sitting on the overworld for you, and it can in many seeds give you some offense that you wouldn't otherwise have.
Absolutely, because you never know. It could be that white sword, could be the red candle, it could be that wand. Heck, it could even be a boomerang. And any kind of offense is going to help, because right now, neither of these runners have found the wood sword, which is going to lead me to believe, Antlers, that it's probably in Death Mountain near Vanilla level 9, in that potion shop.
Right. We're probably looking at East Death Mountain, I would agree. Have we seen the Vanilla 5 and Waterfall area as well?
I don't believe we have, and that's a dangerous spot to go to, especially if the enemy set above the waterfall is like Lionel's and such. So, no, we have not checked that ability.
And the good news for ChessJerk is he's working his way over there. He's only got a few more caves to check, and I would imagine that if he doesn't find it on the waterfall, he'll be routing right over to East Death Mountain to finish off his open cave exploration.
It looks like we could have a couple of potential sword blocks here with these dark nuts. That's something that a candle will not be able to take down. So Ategenos, he's going to try to bunch these up in the off chance that this could be the push block. It is the push block. He finds the item, and it's the white sword.
What a play. Great bomb strats there on those dark nuts, and gets handsomely rewarded for it. That's a huge combat advantage for Ategenos, after he's already built a little bit of an exploration advantage through the dungeons at least. He's going to even have more of an advantage at this point.
Boy, that might be the play of the match right there, Antlers. He takes a chance on those orange dark nuts with the bomb strats, and the dark nuts were not on the plus side of the HP shuffle, so he was able to take each one down with just a single bomb. 2 bombs later, he gets his white sword as his first sword. What a nice play there by 8gen.
That's a huge play. I mean, that can't be overstated how big that white sword is when your opponent is still swordless and you know where several dungeons are at this point.
ChessJerk is in level 3, and he'll be happy to discover that the Pole's Voice is not the dominant enemy, so he'll be able to take care of this room. And as we saw 8gen do earlier, he'll be able to get through this entire level 3. Unfortunately, he's going to have to pay the piper or come back later. He's weighing his options, and I think he wants no part of that mugger room. He's going to come back later.
Yeah, I don't blame him at all for that. You don't know how many bombs you're going to need in the seed, and in the meantime, Ategenos picks up his Triforce out of 1.
Yeah, that's
so he's moving right along.
Yeah, that's his second Triforce piece. He's got the 1 out of 1 and 3, and with the sword, he'll have a much better time of cleaning up level 1, so I would imagine he's going to go back in. Yes, sir.
Oh, absolutely. And I don't believe we've seen both items out of one. I think we just saw the staircase item, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Working.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen any items out of level 1. If we did see any items out of level 1, I've missed them.
That's very possible as well. There's been a lot going on the seed really quickly.
There's the bomb shop, and ChessJerk's going to go ahead and purchase those 25 rupee bombs. And now, Ategenos, he's going to spend another max bomb, and this could come into play come level 9 here, Antler. His max capacity is now just 6 bombs.
That's true. That's where you got to be good at counting to 10. When you just got 6 bombs to play with, you've got to be constantly making that 10 count, forcing the bomb drop. And we find the red ring in 1.
Wow!
Was carrying it.
So I guess that those pancakes had a thing for jewelry, and that is a humongous find for Ategenos. That is going to quadruple his defense, so the damage taken is down to 1/4 the base value. ChessJerk finding level 4 behind that armor statue and gets an instant Triforce, so that's his second piece. Meanwhile, Ategenos has just found the staircase item in 1, and he's got the wand. That's another good find.
My goodness. Everything just coming up Ategenos right now. Especially seeing that red ring being carried by an enemy in 1 after ChessJerk bought that blue ring. This Ategenos has a huge advantage as far as the offense and the defense at this point, and his money situation as well.
He's sitting on 59 rupees, just a little bit short of picking up the wooden arrows, which could come in handy for him as ChessJerk is going to continue to explore level 4. And nice dodging of those blue dart nuts to not take any damage. You lose 2 hearts every time you get hit by them, and in his case, he's going to lose 1 heart since he's got the blue ring. Now, Ategenos just found a medium secret that puts him over the threshold to buy the wooden arrows. We'll see if he makes that play.
At this point, after finding that red ring, I think that you don't have to worry about buying blue ring. You don't have ladder yet, so you don't necessarily need to buy hints. But ChessJerk just made a big find himself.
Oh, yes. That's a great find, considering he only had 1 key to his name. You never find the any key when you have low keys to your name. So that is a humongous find for ChessJerk. His key problems are officially over with.
Absolutely, and that's something that we'll see. It's in a really level 4 is in a really accessible location, so we'll see if Ategenos picks that up as well. But his key situation is not near as dire as ChessJerk's was.
Now ChessJerk going to go back into level 3, and remember that the choices for the mug room are leave your max bombs or keys. And since he has the any key, that essentially acts as a free pass, so he'll end up spending nothing, and that mugger is just pure out of luck. Again, that could very well come into play. Again, resource management. Ategenos already has spent 2 of his max bombs. He can only carry up to 6. Now, he's heading towards the Armo statue where Vanilla level 4 is, and I thought he was going to make that play. He still might, but he's going to check Monocle Rock first.
Yeah, thought about buying that bomb for 1, but looks like he's going to use a few bombs before he makes that play to purchase more.
He almost stumbled upon that bomb. I mean, it's nature of habit. I mean, you're normally carrying up to 8 bombs, but he just realized he was only 1 away from his current max, and there is that any key going to work for ChessJerk. Clearing that mugger, he can explode the rest of this level 3, and he finds the Triforce. Well, these pancakes have been swallowing up everything valuable. We've had a red ring, we've had a Triforce. They tend to like to swallow money, so these have been some hungry legs.
Absolutely. And pancakes everywhere this seed. This is not only the IHOP dungeon, it appears it's the IHOP seed.
Yeah, no question about it. This has just been one crazy seed so far when it comes to these pancakes here, and ChessJerk continuing to explore level 3. He knows where the Triforce is, just has to find the staircase. Meanwhile, Ategenos finds a bonus cave, and he'll get this heart container, which will guarantee him the white sword item if he can find it. Well, we know it's not the white sword, so it could be anything else. And look at that, a very friendly waterfall screen, just 1 lonely blue Octorok, and we find some cash to the tune of 8 rupees.
And that's something that normally you're kind of worried about. That waterfall screen can be very, very nasty. Fortunately for Ategenos, he wasn't too worried about it, I'm sure. With all of his offense and defense, he's going to blow through that with no problem either way.
finds a quote-unquote large secret for 55 rupees. That'll put him up to 175 rupees. Plenty of money to go on a shopping spree at this point. He could buy the arrows, he could buy the bait. There is our white sword item. It is the heart container, and that will boost Ategenos' health up to 7 hearts now.
Not exactly what he was necessarily looking for, but it's knowledge. You know it's not buried on West Death Mountain or in a power bracelet spot, as ChessJerk picks up his bow out of 3.
Indeed. So now all he has to do is backtrack to that pancake room, grab his Triforce, and he'll be done with level 3. Another large secret find for Ategenos. That'll put him up to 230 rupees. So he's definitely got all the cash. And again, he's got the red ring. No need to buy the blue ring. So he can go on a shopping spree, buy the arrows, buy the potion. Of course, he hasn't found the letter yet, which will get him the potions, but he's sitting pretty right now, Antlers.
Absolutely. And if I'm Ategenos, what I'm looking for just as much as the silver arrows, honestly, at this point, is the ladder. You've got all the money you could ever want, and you only are looking for the silver arrows. A lot of times, you got 6 hints that you know where they are on the overworld. You can go in and purchase that hint that might give you the location of the silvers, and all of a sudden, you're in basically go mode.
Ategenos found another take in a cave, opts to pick up the potion, and in my opinion, this is a smart move. He's currently sitting on 7 hearts. He's got 3 Triforce pieces. He's still 3 hearts away from a chance at the magical sword, anywhere between 10 and 14 hearts. He's getting pretty close to being eligible to go into level 9, and he's already got the red ring. He's already got the white sword. He can refill his health twice with that red potion. I like this play by Ategenos.
I agree. At this point, you've got white sword, you got wand, and you're 25 minutes in. And I'm not looking for magical sword at this point. I'm trying to get into 9 as fast as possible. As ChessJerk picks up his triangle.
Look at that. By the way, look at that freeze frame. Somebody take a picture of that. ChessJerk full of pancakes as he exits level 3 with the Triforce in hand. That's his 3rd Triforce piece as well. So all 3 of our runners currently sporting Triforce pieces 1, 3, and 4 as ChessJerk heads for vanilla level 5, and he is going to find that is not a door repair penalty. Instead, that either would be the hint about the white sword item or the location of Mags. Mags, of course, ChessJerk already knows that's at start, but the white sword item he's not found yet.
Absolutely, as Ategenos finds level 5, and with both of our runners have 3 Triforces, so ChessJerk has actually done a really good job of keeping this within striking distance, even though he has far less offense and a little bit less defense as well.
And actually, this is a return trip to level 5 for Ategenos, as this is where he found his white sword.
Right. Just looking for the triangle out of here at this point, and that will give him his 4th. He'll just need 1 more to enter 9.
He's got enough money to buy that bomb upgrade, and he could sorely use those bombs, and it's a good thing he did. It is worth his while. It's the maximum upgrade of 6 bombs. He just doubled his fodder. That was a great play there by Ategenos. That's why he went back to level 5. Not for the Triforce, but for that bomb upgrade. Good move.
What a play. So something that neither of us were even thinking about, but the fact that he had the wherewithal to do that, knowing that he's got all the money he could want at this point, great play.
But get this, ChessJerk finding the arrow shop. He had just enough rupees. He's going to go ahead and purchase those wood arrows with the bow in hand. That is nice against these Poles' voices. So ChessJerk, yeah, he's keeping up with Ategenos right now, even without a sword. He's gone swordless so far for 27.5 minutes.
That's quite the feat to be tied in Triforces after that long without a sword when your opponent's running with white sword and wand and the red ring. ChessJerk gonna find a bittersweet item in here for him, the red ring, which it's great to find, a little bit less great after you bought the blue ring.
Yeah, but at least the blue ring went to work for him for a good chunk of this race. It's not like he found the red ring instantaneously after purchasing the blue ring, so it did its job. But yeah, I could see where you're going with that, Antlers.
Absolutely.
As Ategenos is going to check Death Mountain, and again, I bet you anything that wood sword is going to be behind that potion cave near vanilla level 9. Let's see if I'm right. Do we have a wood sword here? Do we have a wood sword here? We do!
And Ategenos with the red candle and white sword will just dip right back out of that cave as there's nothing for him in there.
But he does find the letter, which he does not take. Of course, he doesn't need the letter because he already has a red potion to his name. But, I still would have picked up the letter, just in case level 9 is the great equalizer and it's a heavy combat. Of course, then again, he does have the red ring. So I guess I can understand why Ategenos would not pick up the letter. His combat's good enough. He doesn't need it.
That's true, and the fact is, I believe he probably has a few more take any's out there as well. That if he needs, he can just pick up another potion. At this point, health is probably about the last thing he's worried about.
Right, and if this were second quest enemy flags, where you've got those pesky red bubbles that takes away your sword permanently, unless you find a blue bubble or touch a Triforce or find a fairy fountain. If it was those kind of flags, I could see him picking up the letter at that point. But since we're not dealing with those flags, yeah, he doesn't need the paper.
That's a very good point. Drinking a potion, giving your sword ability back after taking a hit from a red bubble. Don't have those enemies in this seed, so won't need to worry about that.
ChessJerk has taken absolutely the wrong path so far in level 1. Oh, shoot. Still has not found either of the 2 items, but he will find it eventually. He just needs to keep on looking. He's got the any key, and that could come into play still, is the any key. The bombs are no longer a factor for Ategenos since he purchased that upgrade. Look at that, another Mugger Room, another free pass for ChessJerk, so he gets to keep on playing.
Yeah, that's the power of the any key early as well. Mugger Rooms, especially ones in central locations like that block literally the entire dungeon, the any key completely nullifies those.
Speaking of dungeons, Ategenos finding level 2, another small dungeon. He found the Triforce immediately. He's going to pass it up for the time being, small enough that he'll be able to explore this in the hopes that he can find the item that is on the ground. Meanwhile, ChessJerk gets to play the game of Hungry Dodongos here in the hopes that he will find the drop item. Unfortunately, it's the wrong decision because we know that pancakes have the drop item, but that was a good clear considering the situation Soros, and he gets rewarded by getting some of his bombs back. Nice job by ChessJerk.
Absolutely. Very, very fortunate drop there, as we know that wasn't the item that he was looking for, but fortunately he gets his bombs replenished. Dodongo's another enemy that just takes forever usually if you don't have a sword, and it takes almost all your bomb resources away.
There's another heart container for Ategenos, and oh shoot, he's blocked by that vertical shoot room that you normally see in 9. He'll have to take a different path if he wants to find the item. He's up to 9 hearts, so he's currently sitting 1 heart away from a potential shot at the magical sword if he decides to make a play for it, which again, I don't see him doing. There's the compass that he doesn't need, still in search for the item.
Yeah, Ategenos at this point, he's really just looking for one of 2 items. He's looking for the ladder, he's looking for the silvers. And if not, he's getting those triangles and going to 9, I'm assuming.
And ChessJerk just has 1 segment left to go. He has killed the Land Mola, and he's going to be pretty happy to see that 1. That's going to be an offensive upgrade from his red candle that's going to do 2 hit points of damage. Some people call it the poor man's white sword. Ategenos trying to clear this final Gibdo here, and he gets a key. That puts him up to 7 keys.
Yeah, with 7 keys, the key is the only other thing that Ategenos really has to worry about toward the end of this game. But again, 7 keys, not really a huge concern at this point, but you never know going through 1 more dungeon and going through 9 how many keys you're going to need. So that any key could still come in huge for ChessJerk.
Speaking of ChessJerk, he found the red ring behind the pancake, so now his defense has doubled 1 more time, so the damage he's taken is now down to 1/4 its base value, just like Ategenos.
With those Pulse voices being in level 2, we're seeing the decision to buy the wood arrows pay off as they're insta-killed by those arrows.
ChessJerk finds level 5, and boy, is he going to be happy to find out the item. And because he's got the 1, he'll have a much easier time against those orange Darknuts that are guarding the white sword. Because with the tip of that magical wand, he'll be able to deal damage off of those orange Darknuts. Again, the candle wouldn't have done that, and a long-range wand attack will not affect the Darknuts also. And there's the bait block that's here in level 2. Ategenos had purchased the bait, so he's just going to indulge that Gibdo by feeding the meat. And look at this. We have our item in level 2, and it is the ladder. And as we've seen a lot in this Zelda randomizer, ladder is king, and now Ategenos just needs to get the Triforce. He is in a really good spot right now, folks.
My goodness. Again, everything just kind of Ategenos right now. And where do you think he's going now, Loss, after he gets out of this level 2?
Well, he has decisions to make. I know we've seen level 8, which has 2 items. He's already been through level 5. I don't see him going to level 5. If he's going to get a Triforce, he's going to go to a dungeon that he has not completed yet. So 8 seems like the logical play, and that it looks like that's where he's going.
It does, and I'm a little bit surprised. I guess maybe not with 8 that close to start in the book so far out of the way, but I figured maybe he would go and pick up that book. So if he does get a hint going through one of these dungeons, it could possibly steer him in the direction of the silvers if he's not already going in the right direction.
Well, that's true, but he could always pick up the book after he's done with level 8. I think he may want to save it by going into level 9. I mean, just in case that the silver arrows are here in level 8. For all he knows, he could be behind. We know he's in a pretty good spot at the moment.
That's true. It's all about trying to gauge where how fast you've done the seed, what moves you think your opponent has made, and how whether you think you're in the lead or whether you think you're behind. That can influence your decisions quite a bit.
Now, because we have seen the bait block, and because we've already seen 2 mugger rooms, the chances that we're going to see a mugger room in level 9 are pretty minuscule at this point. They still exist, but they are quite low now.
Right, I think there's just one more out there that we haven't seen.
Potentially. Not a guarantee. There can be up to 3, but there could be less than that. Happens to be 2 bomb upgrades in level 5 that ChessJerk has found both of them, but at only 17 rupees, certainly cannot afford it.
And that's where you see the decision to buy the blue ring. That's why a lot of people will say they don't like to buy the blue ring. So it really depends on what the seed gives you and where you find everything. Unfortunately, it's costing him quite a few bomb upgrade capacity as he finds his triangle in 5.
ChessJerk found the Triforce in level 5, so he's now up to 4 Triforce pieces himself. Now, he opts to go back into level 5, and it's going to be a smart move on ChessJerk's part, because he's going to find that white sword if he's able to make the correct path.
Right, here is the Dark Nut room, and he's just going right through there.
Yeah, this is the room that he needs to clear, and yeah, he's clearing it right now. This is going to be huge for ChessJerk. He's going to get his white sword. It's not over yet for ChessJerk, because he's now going to be tied in the Triforce department. Now, Ategenos is going to get his 5th Triforce out of level 8, and we find that, oh my goodness gracious, everything coming up. 8 gen, the silver arrows are here in 8. He's in go mode.
Remember what I said about the book earlier? Don't listen to me.
Yeah, as I said, this is the reason why he went to level 8 here, Antlers, in case the silver arrows were here. Now, he doesn't need to get the book. He could just find Ganon, find Zelda, win the seed. So, man, oh man, 8 gen just making all of the right plays in this race. And unless level 9 is the great equalizer and, keys come into play for 8 gen, this is going to be a tough one for ChessJerk to come back, but not so fast, my friend. ChessJerk going into level 8 now. Now, he doesn't have the ladder, and I haven't seen a ladder block yet in level 8, so he may have access to the silver arrows as well. So this is still a close race, folks.
Absolutely, and depending on the location of Zelda, specifically usually Zelda, it can even things up a lot. If you take the right path in 9 is so large that it can even the race out in a hurry.
Now, Ategenos has found the Triforce in level 8 where that staircase is. That is the 5th Triforce piece for him. He is now eligible to go into level 9 as ChessJerk finds the other item in level 8, which happens to be the Power Bracelet.
And fortunately for ChessJerk, we know that the Power Bracelet probably not going to come into play here for anything really important, but still want to pick it up just in case.
Since we're winding down to this race, I'm going to recap the items that we have found in this so far. Level 1 has the red ring and the wand. Level 2, the ladder. Level 3, the bow. Level 4 has the any key. Level 5 has the white sword. Believe it or not, we have not found level 6 or 7, and we're never going to, because the level 8 items were the silver arrows and the power bracelet. Armo statue item was the red candle, the ladder item on the coast was the book, and the white sword item was the heart container. We have 4 items left in play. Those 4 items are the raft, And I don't know what the rest of them are because it doesn't matter. These guys are in go mode.
So this is an interesting one for ChessJerk. It's basically 39 minutes into the seed. He's about to pick up his 5th Triforce and get into 9. How do you think he's feeling about his position in this race at this point?
Thank you, Malagard. Yes, the other 3 items in addition to the raft, the recorder, and the bananas. We have not found either of the boomerangs, so this could potentially be a potassium-less seed if Ategenos doesn't find the boomerangs in level 9, but he does find Patra Wayne, which is guarding that spiral staircase. But with the wand and the white sword, he's going to make quick work of this Patra.
Absolutely. He's not got much to worry about from this Patra at this point.
Now, ChessJerk is still looking for, I believe, the silver arrows. I don't believe he has the silver arrows yet, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he doesn't have them at this time, so he's going to still be looking for the item. Now, he has found the location of the... there's the silver arrows for ChessJerk. He has found the location of where the Triforce is, so he's not going to be too far behind Ategenos. Folks, we still have a race.
Oh, absolutely. The one thing ChessJerk does have to worry about right now is the ladder, and I'm sure that's in the back of his mind going into 9 without the ladder, with all of the races that have come down to a ladder block in 9 this tournament.
Yeah, no question about it here. And we have a Wizrobe set in level 9, so it's a good thing these runners have the red ring and the white sword. And there's one of the 3 potential hints here. By the way, Ategenos looking for the Roar of the Beast. That's what he's listening for. If he hears it, then Ganon is 1 rube adjacent to where he currently is. He's also looking for a room that has a single shutter door. If he full clears that room and that single shutter door does not open, he has found the location of Zelda. There are also 3 old men with 4 potential hints, but because neither runner has the book, ladies and gentlemen, here's Ganon, 8-gen finding the beast fast.
Absolutely. Get that instant stun lock on Ganon, keeping him in the corner. Oh, and he loses it, but he'll be disposing of him in quick order, I assume.
Yep, there's 6 hits, 7 hits, and down goes Ganon. We have Bacon. Ategenos picking up the Triforce of Power. So now all he has to do is find a single shutter door room that automatically opens, and Ategenos is going to be a winner.
Absolutely, but it's still not over. Zelda has the potential to be really, really good at hide and seek in this 9, so anything can still happen. ChessJerk's definitely not out of this yet.
Oh, not at all. So we're going to find out what happens here as Ategenos is playing hide and seek with Princess Zelda. Well, she's not called the Ice Queen in my book for nothing, you see, Antlers. She's probably going to be like double magical staircase required, but we'll see what happens. There's Ganon's room, and Fire's abducted that room, so Ategenos is going to try to bomb. He's able to bomb to the left, not to the right, though, so he's going to make that play, it looks like.
And he gets a nice timely bomb drop as well. That's always good to see in 9, especially when you're working on a finite amount of keys. That's the big advantage that ChessJerk will have. I don't know that having 5 keys, Ategenos is probably too worried about it, but it's still probably in the back of his mind.
And ChessJerk enters at 4154. Now, there's a Chevy room there. Potentially, that could be a problem for ChessJerk.
And Compass for Ategenos. He's found the location of Zelda in 9. Now he just has to get there. That is looking a lot more dire for ChessJerk now.
Yep, things are not looking good for ChessJerk, but it ain't over until the path to the princess is found. And Ategenos tried to bomb to the east here. No, not so fast. 8-gen's going to have some work to do if he wants to rescue Zelda. And now he's got these blue Rizos to deal with, and he wants to teleport, and he's able to do so. It is a transport staircase. ChessJerk entered 3 minutes and 14 seconds behind Ategenos. So that just goes to show how close this race has been.
Absolutely.
Even with the sword deficiency that ChessJerk had, he has kept in this race with Ategenos and being in level 9. So he's still got a chance, but he's going to need a miracle at this point.
Yeah, and Ategenos is on the right path, and I don't believe that there's anything that's going to be in his way at this point.
No, especially given that ChessJerk has already found Zelda. He's just a couple of rooms away. If there is a shutter door past this shutter door that Patra's guarding, 8gen will be the winner of this race, and he will be advancing to the bracket stages of this tournament. Do we have a shutter door behind this shutter door? Yes, we do, but he's got to get past Patrick Wayne for the final time, and he does. Ategenos is your winner. He is moving on to the stages of the tournament. Get your GGs out for 8gen.
8gen, the first of our tournament participants to make it to the bracket stage, and gotta feel great going 3-0, not having to worry a lot of pressure off that match 4 and 5.
Boy, I tell you what, though, ChessJerk was just a pig away from making the comeback possible. He narrowed things down to level 9 rather quickly, but in the end, 8gen's lead was just too much.
It was, and it's a real testament to ChessJerk's skill that he was able to be so far behind in the offense category and be able to keep it that close. Just insane, to be honest, that he was able to do that.
You better believe it. So congratulations to Ategenos, 3-0 in the tournament. He has punched to take it to the bracket stages of the Zelda 1 Randomizer tournament. Now let's root ChessJerk to see, he could still post a sub 50 time if he finds Ganon quickly.
Oh, absolutely. Over half the seed. If
oh boy,
here's
Ganon one more time. ChessJerk needs 8 hits to take down the beast and immediately gets the stun lock. 5, 6, 7, 8. Down goes Ganon. What a fight for ChessJerk. Boy, I tell you what, he kept pace. This is going to be about an even Steven level 9 for both of our runners. The deficit was 3 minutes and 14 seconds. And actually, I think ChessJerk's actually going to gain time on Ategenos in this level 9. What was the official SRL time for 8gen?
The official SRL time is... got timed out of IRC. I'm pulling it right back up right now.
You only have a few seconds left because ChessJerk is about to reach the finish line here as that shutter door automatically opens. And get your GGs out for ChessJerk. He pulls a sub 46, which would win a handful of races. Almost every race of this tournament just ran up against the buzzsaw in 8gen. Get your GGs out for both. They put on a clinic. What were the times?
Getting back in right now.
And it looks like we do have 8gen in the commentator's booth with us. GG, boy, what a performance you put up tonight.
Thanks, I appreciate it. I had a chip on my shoulder from last tournament, so.
Thank you very much. And we do have the official SRL times. It's 43:30 for you versus 45:38 for ChessJerk. So he actually gained 1 minute and 6 seconds on you in that level 9. I got to tell you, he went through just about the entire race swordless until he found the white sword in level 5. You made, arguably, in my opinion, the play of the match. Bombing those dart nuts when you had just the red candle to your name, finding the white sword, in my opinion, that was the move that did it for you.
Yeah, and I think going back and buying the bomb upgrade after having to burn two bombs to get into dungeons.
It was a big gamble considering that this was a major poverty seed with that large secret being a measly 55 rupees. You took gamble on the bomb upgrade. It happened to be the maximum upgrade, and that was all the resources you need to beat the seed. And incidentally, you found the ladder in level 2. Get this. This was a ladderless seed. Just for your information, it's something you rarely see in Zelda 1 Randomizer, but ChessJerk never found level 2, and he got through level 9 without that ladder.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, I was happy to find the ladder for sure. I didn't know if it was going to be needed, but I didn't really want to spend keys in level 5 looking for a Triforce there, so.
Certainly didn't blame you. And of course, considering you still needed the silver arrows out of a dungeon, you decided to make a different play, and it turned out to be the right play for you. So, I mean, just about every move you made in this race, it just happened to be the right one for you, 8gen. So congratulations to you. 3-0 in the tournament. You advanced to the bracket stages, so you're now pretty much playing with house money.
Yeah, I mean, ChessJerk is a ridiculously difficult opponent. We're 1-1 now, so I'm kind of happy about that. But good game, ChessJerk. I knew you would be right on my tail if you didn't done before me. So,
Indeed, we do have ChessJerk here in the commentator's booth. GG, a very, very fast time. And I must say, you put up one hell of a performance considering you went through virtually the entire race without any sword until you found the white sword out of level 5. You pretty much kept up with Ategenos the entire time, but the one play that did it for Ategenos was he found the white sword earlier by bombing the orange darkness. But I tell you, your combat, your gameplay was extraordinary tonight.
Thank you very much, GG Agent.
Yeah, crazy game.
Yeah, if I didn't full clear one, I mean, I got to the three-way with the life for money room, and I went down and then I went left. If I go up first, it's a much closer race. That's looking at everything I did. That's pretty much. I mean, yeah, I didn't even have the ladder. I heard you say you had the ladder.
Yeah, I got it at a level 2, which was up on Death Mountain at B1.
Never.
So I mean, I really went out of my way to look for level 2.
Never saw Death Mountain. Never set foot there.
Now, as you had an advantage with the ladder, Ategenos, ChessJerk actually had an advantage by finding the any key in level 4, and level 4 was behind the Armo statue near the letter in the vanilla quest.
Yeah, that was my first Triforce. I just grabbed that and left. Without a ladder and without keys and without a weapon, 4 is one of those places I don't like to explore too much. There's high tendency of ladder blocks, and so I bailed. And fortunately, it didn't bite me in the butt not having the any key this time.
Nope, you had plenty of keys. This was far from a key star of C we have seen a lot in this tournament already. So I got to tell you though, yeah, what you said about level 1, if you would have taken a different path, I mean, perhaps this could have been like within 30 seconds or less, because you actually gained 1 minute and 6 on Ategenos in that level 9, because you came in 3 minutes and 14 seconds behind HN. You cut it to 2 minutes and 8 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, if I don't go down and left, because down and left had absolutely nothing. If I go straight up, I gotta save at least 2 minutes and not full clearing one.
Could have been a photo finish.
Could have been.
It could have been a photo finish, and it would have probably made the drone saver race from last season a footnote potentially. But that's the nature of randomizers. Sometimes all it takes is that one move.
It was nice to take the right path in 9 for a change.
That was
something I'm not used to.
I mean, I don't feel I had obviously had a bit of a slower 9 than you did, but I got to Ganon relatively quickly. And then the path I took ran me into the compass, and then I kind of had a little bit of a shindig trying to get over there. But, it wasn't too bad of a 9 compared to some of the ones that we've seen for sure.
Yeah, for some reason I went left. Normally I always go up in 9, but I went left for some reason and ran right into her. And then up in 8, because I got to a dead end, and then went up and hurt him. So it was very simple.
Yeah, very fast level 9 for you. I believe 3 minutes and 44 seconds for you, ChessJerk. That is a lightning fast level 9.
If I'd gone the absolute right way, I would have had an entire seed with no whiz robes. That would have been very interesting.
That would have been interesting, because we hadn't seen any whiz robes on either side throughout the levels, because level 6 was never found, level 7 was never found, and those were probably whiz robe dungeons.
Were there any in 2? I never saw 2.
Yes.
There were. Okay. I didn't notice.
Now, there weren't like big rooms of them. It was just like 1 or 2 at a time.
Mm-hmm.
There weren't big rooms of them.
At that point, Ategenos had he had the white sword, he had the red ring, so it wasn't as noticeable as when you're going in with 3 hearts, wood sword, and no ring.
For sure.
I guess if I also go to the northeast to get the Armos item instead of going the other direction, that could have saved me some time. It would have had an early red candle. Yeah, that was earlier red candle.
That was my second to last Armo spot too. So I got that late in comparison. It was like 5 or 6 minutes in. And then I found 5 and I had some bombs and I'm like, let's try this. And it just so happened I had enough bombs and finagled my way into the white sword. And I'm like, that's the best feeling ever, because especially with the sword where it was, I didn't actually make it to that cave until, I don't know, 30 minutes into the seed.
What cave?
And ChessJerk never saw it.
Yeah, it was west of Vanilla 9.
No, I know. It's the only spot I have left, but I never made anywhere near there. I heard luckily I spent 35 minutes without the sword and found the white sword, so that solved my problem.
Yeah.
Tyler, we almost had the ultimate Fred start. You guys started at the start screen, and there happened to be a sword at start, but it was the mags.
Yeah. I started the seed, and I thought, uh-oh, did I load the right seed? That was my first thought.
Now you both voted the right seed, all right. The magical sword was the sword in behind start, so it was an interesting start to say the least. Antlers and we got a little chuckle out of it. So
how about those 2 life or money rooms?
Oh my god,
I didn't really hesitate, but I'm like, man, 6 bombs. I actually went back into 5 and bought the bomb upgrade, which was 6 bombs, so that helped a little bit too. But
that was another play that saved your bacon, because you know how level 9 can be a fun game of find the bomb hole, and having 12 bombs as opposed to 6 bombs makes it a lot easier. Yeah, you found both bomb upgrades. Incidentally, there were 2 bomb upgrades in level 5, and 6 bombs was the upgrade, but it came at a steep price. And again, with a poverty seed, kind of tough to make a play on everything.
I did see them both in 5, but I had nowhere near enough money for them. I bought Blue Ring. So.
And
I bought arrows early, and I had like 240 rupees. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go buy a bomb upgrade now because I have no bombs.
And the difference when you found those money or life rooms was the fact that at that point, Ategenos, you had the red candle, but ChessJerk didn't find it till quite a bit later. So it makes it a little bit more worth it to make that gamble when you have a red candle versus just a blue candle.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, I waited until I had the any key before I tackled those life or money rooms. I noped out of both of them and then went back later. I suppose if I had given the bomb, I didn't really have any bomb problems that I can remember. So if I had just given the bomb right away, that might have changed things too.
So it didn't look like either of you had any bomb troubles, in spite of the deficit that Ategenos you had early on. The bomb deficit didn't last for you because, again, you went to level 5, made the play on the bomb upgrade, turned out to be a great purchase. And yeah, one of the rare seeds where bombs and keys weren't a factor ever. That never happens.
Hardly
ever.
I mean,
it was easy Triforces too. I should have gone back to 8 instead of going to 2, but I hadn't found the Triforce in 5. I didn't know where 6 and 7 were, and so I'm like, well, I've got to find another level because I didn't want to burn keys in 5. So I went and looked for 2, which gave me the ladder, and I don't know that it really made any difference whatsoever in 9. There were a few ladder rooms that I was able to cross in 9, and I don't know if it changed anything or not because you don't really pay attention, but I was happy to find the ladder nonetheless.
Obviously, I never saw any water at all in level 9 because I didn't have the ladder.
Yeah.
Yep, there was a Chevy room in the western part of level 9, but it turned out not to be a factor. So, yep, a ladderless seed, the rare time that you go through an entire Zelda randomizer race, you never find the ladder and you never need it. It's rare, but there you go.
All right. Well, thank you guys for the restream and the commentary. RE for throwing this together super quick. I'm going to go take a short break because ChessJerk, RE, and I all have got a battle royale that starts in 22 minutes. So I'm going to take a break and then get ready for that.
Hey, we wish you the best of luck on that. And 8gen, congratulations again on your victory. You have punched a ticket into the bracket stages, and wish you the best of luck in your next 2 races in the Swiss.
Appreciate it.
And ChessJerk, a very outstanding performance. You are 2-1 right now, but no doubt in my mind, you have an excellent chance of making it to the bracket stages yourself. So congratulations on a great race, and we wish you the best of luck in your next 2 races.
Thank you very much. I don't feel bad at all about losing to a 43. Not at all.
Yeah, it's tough, man. These seeds and flags are just nuts.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, thank you very much for the restream and everything else, and let's go on to the Battle Royale. Thank goodness for the Jet Seed.
Yeah.
Well, boy, I tell you what, Antlers, what a match these 2 runners put up tonight. Our 3rd week of Swiss matches here in the Zelda Randomizer tournament has already gotten off to a flying start. 2 sub-50s, exceptional combat, exceptional gameplay. Where do we go from here?
Yeah, I mean, we've got 2 more races tonight. We've got Fury going up against Penulth, and that is technically in the morning. It's at 12:30 a.m. That race is going to be In the confusion of the beginning, I must have closed out of it.
Speed Gaming 2. Speed Gaming 2.
Yep.
The race that's coming up next, which is actually 20 minutes from now, Zarnex 42 and Raikou Rider on Speed Gaming 2, and then also on Speed Gaming 2 following that race is what you had mentioned, Buzz Thunder and Fury SK.
I'm sorry,
yes.
I said Fury's second round opponent instead of his third.
That's why I always have. That's why.
Sorry about that.
No problem. You go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, every round so far, all 3 rounds have started out with a bang, and it's really set the tone for a great round. This has been a great tournament so far, and I'm so happy to have, to finally be a part of it rather than just a spectator. Although spectating them is definitely fun as well.
You better believe it. So great races coming up for you later tonight on Speed Gaming 2, and get this, Antlers. We went the entire race without seeing a banana.
Yeah, that's much to the chagrin of certain people out there.
Right.
I myself try to avoid either boomerang at all costs, but I know I'm in the minority on that one.
All righty. Well, that's going to do it for us here on Randomania 3. I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. On behalf of our 2 runners, Ategenos and ChessJerk, make sure you give both of them a follow. They put up an outstanding race, the both of them, and no doubt in my mind we are going to see them again in the bracket stages. Who knows? They might go head-to-head one more time. And on behalf of Random Effect, our restreamer here on Randomania 3, for our tracker, Malagord, and for my broadcast partner, Antlers, this is LOZ Cards Fan 23 signing off. Enjoy the rest of the races tonight on Speed Gaming 2, and we will see you next time. So long, everybody.